States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to the December 30th County Commission meeting. I would remind you to silence your cell phones. The meeting documents are on the end of the counter in the white folder. And Robert is in the front row if you need a listening device.
Okay. Routine business, item 1 is consider a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Are there any amendments or changes? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes 4-0.
Item 2 are to approve the County Commission minutes. A is consider a motion to approve a correction to those minutes to correct the omission of ASN number 16935 for the Fusion Center grants that were in the amount of $26,650 for the Emergency Management Budget Supplement, and also to amend the amount of the transfer from the Capital Projects Fund to the Debt Redemption Fund from $551,672 to $551,678.02.
Is there
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion.
Second.
And a second to correct the December 23rd minutes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
And now we'll consider a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved. Second.
And a motion and a second to approve the minutes as amended. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Item 3 are bills to be paid in the amount of $536,472.84.
Move for approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments? No comments on bills. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Item 4 are reports. Dakota Access Pipeline Project South Dakota Energy Facility Application to the South Dakota Public Utilities Commission, docket number HP 14-002, December 2014, has been received and is placed on file in the auditor's office. Any comments on that? Item 5 is personnel. A is consider a motion to approve the routine personnel actions.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second on routine actions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
There are no application for abatement. There are no notices and requests. There are no planning and zoning notices. And there are no petition for a compromise of lien. The next item is an opportunity for public comment.
This is a time when you may speak publicly about anything that is not on the agenda. Good morning, Mr. Colby.
Robert Colby, citizen, Minnehaha County. I'm understanding, I was hoping that Mr. Peckus would be here this morning because I haven't had a chance to congratulate him on his new phase of life. And I periodically ask people what the County Commission is doing because I have somewhat of a historic interest in it. And one of the things that I'm hoping that with your new appointment that this puts a new life into the commission, because sometimes the people that I talk with feel that the commission is somewhat like a fish on the dock that's flopping around trying to find its way back to where it needs to be in order to make progress. Hopefully that will take place and that you have a chance to enliven your activity and become more proactive in not only the community but into the state endeavor, because this is a very important position and you represent a lot of people, and you do more work than people give you credit for, simply because only the county commission builds a budget. The mayor of the city of Sioux Falls offers a budget up but has his minions do that job for him. The governor offers a budget to the legislature but has his minions do it for him. You actually go through and produce a budget. Legislators, when they come to budget time, they have about a month to approve a budget. City councilors, as Mr. Bennigan can attest, they have about a month to approve a budget, and here you actually construct one. So you do more than you get credit for, but I think that you need to work more diligently with the legislature in order to have them give you some relief for your budgeting process, so that maybe even such things as a 1-cent sales tax for the county. That's been proposed by many of the commissioners in the past. One of the former legislators made a comment that all the county commissioners ever do is whine, but they are the enforcers of the state constitution and the state laws. There may be law enforcement in the state with the highway patrol doing the highway stuff, and there may be DCI, but the sheriff of every county is the one that helps to produce and enforce all the laws in the state. So I'm just hoping that the commission moves forward and becomes one of the luminaries in the political process and in the state of South Dakota. I think you have your responsibilities, you take them earnestly, but sometimes you need to be a little more forceful in all your endeavors. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Are there any other public comments? Seeing none, we will move on.
Regular business, it's not 9:15 yet, so we will move on to item 11, which is consider a motion to transfer $10,000 to the public advocate budget, ASN 15834, other professional services from the Commissioner's Contingency Fund.
Is
Is
there
Cynthia Howard here?
Okay. You're up,
You're up.
Cindy. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay. Are there any questions for Cindy on this? Did you have any comments about it, Cindy? We just read it just before you walked in the door, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry I'm late.
That's okay.
Cindy, can you pull the mic?
We just had a flurry of bills at the end of the year. Our caseload has gone up more than 20% this year. And we were just unable to keep up. Most of the bills have to do with psychological evaluations. We seem to have had a number of very mentally ill clients. That's where we're at.
Are there any questions for Cindy? Look
Motion
for
to approve the transfer of funds from the contingency fund to
I
the
have a
public
motion and a
advocate.
Motion and second. Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Barth? No?
No, I'm thinking about you though, Cindy.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item number 12, consider a motion to supplement $130,030.40 from the general fund to various expenditure ASNs in the sheriff's budget, representing reimbursement from various state and federal grants, and to supplement $26,091.17 from the JAG grant fund to various expenditure ASNs in the JAG budget, representing reimbursements from the Byrne JAG grant. Kristen Trana.
Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. Would you like me to read all of the supplements, or are there any questions about any of the? Generally, they are grant funds that some of it is interest that was earned, like on the Byrne JAG, and then it's also making sure that it's. Well, the one is like the allocation that we received this year, and so that's typically what these supplements are.
Okay. Are there any questions for Kristen on this? Is there a motion?
Move for approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second to supplement from the general fund to various expenditures in the sheriff's budget. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 13, consider a motion to authorize the purchase of a master control board system for the Minnehaha County Regional Juvenile Detention Center, utilizing funds in the 2014 Building Fund budget, and to accept the proposal from Schneider Electric for the purchase of the board in the amount of $81,317.87. Jamie Gravitt.
Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning.
You get to talk for like 5 minutes. Are there any questions for Jamie regarding this board? This was something that was on our budget a long time ago, and it just keeps getting kind of pushed down the road. And as everybody's aware, we've had some significant issues in the last 2 years, and this is no longer repairable. And Commissioner Barth?
Jamie, considering that we may be doing some changes out at that location, is this new master control robust enough to handle other issues?
It is. It's expandable if we decide to build on our location, and it'd be able to handle the new facility that's built on that location.
Any other questions for Jamie? Ken, is this amount, this will come out of the 2015 budget, and is any of this able to come out of the building fund? I know that's where I think we had it originally budgeted for several years ago.
What the proposal is, and we'll probably have to do an action later on to do a supplement and move money as a carryover, but what we're proposing is that there is some money left over in the building fund to the tune of about $84,000, and we're recommending that that be used to fund this out of the 2014 budget. The order will be placed, and because it's an expense that's incurred in 2014, but we probably won't get the bill until 2015, we'll do a carryover supplement of those funds at a later date, and that to make the math work.
Okay. Any other questions? Commissioner Benega?
Jamie, when I looked through the specs, does it give you some information on how long they expect this to last?
They told us 20 years. The current system that we have is part of the 1997 expansion, and it's almost made that 20-year life. The biggest thing with the current system is they will no longer support the software that runs it. And that's where we're going to have a bunch of trouble if it goes down, is finding somebody that would be able to at least get it up and running again. With this purchase, we will own the software. We haven't previously owned the software. The plan is to send people to be trained to repair it so we can be self-sufficient and not have to rely on somebody from Atlanta to come in and fix it.
If there's no other questions, I'd look for a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to purchase the master control board for the JDC. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is Minnehaha County Commissioner Liaison Reports.
Are there any liaison reports? I don't think we
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Barth?
I was at the mall last week and talked to Santa and put in a good word for all of us.
Thank you. That would be good.
What did you ask for?
Are you Santa's liaison now? That would be great. Put that in the assignment list. Jamie also reported that over Christmas that there was a lot of activities going on with the JDC, with the kids out there, with Christmas presents and stuff and things that had been donated for those kids, and they try to make it as special as possible considering they're away from home during the holidays. So probably should have had him say a word about it, but we still have a couple more minutes. Is there any new business?
Madam Chair, I'd like to hold some new business to the end.
Okay. Is there any old business? We have taken up all our time. We have 2 more minutes before we can do the our last item, which is
You're on the cusp of setting a record.
yeah, for the fastest meeting out there. Still have 2 minutes.
I guess I would comment that...
Okay, thank you.
As former Commissioner Colby pointed out, we do need to make a continued legislative effort to diversify our funding sources for this county, and I think most of us are of the opinion that property taxes are high enough, and yet it seems like our leaders in Pierre are telling us that just go ahead, raise property taxes, and that seems easy for them to say, but for whatever reason, they're not able to give us any other source of income, because that would mean they had some responsibility. And we're going to try to work on that again this legislative session. I think we're of one opinion on that, and I hope that we're able to. But even though it's not an election year this year, it seems like the whole session has already been hijacked on roads as opposed to county funding. It's just my opinion.
Continues to be an issue for us, and insufficient funding for the counties, and it's not just Minnehaha County. I think just about every county across the state is in financial trouble, and if they're not there, they will be there soon.
Well, I can make a couple of comments. First of all, this isn't a new subject. This is a subject that was approached before Kobe was even involved. So we have beat this horse for 20 plus years at least. Every time we have taken the same story to the legislature, it's the same response. You have the ability to opt out, and most of us, I believe, feel like if there was an opportunity for the distribution of sales tax to change, that would not only solve some of the county's issues, but frankly, it would reduce some of the reserves that both cities and the state have in their budget process. So the system is manageable. It's going to take a new thought process to distribute those funds, and that, I think, is the key to the whole process, because as Mr. Barth and Santa Claus both said, there isn't going to be any new avenues, I don't believe, other than the county road system. So we need to continue to look at ways to redistribute, if you will, sales tax revenue.
And we are at 9:16. We are.
Could I just
Yep,
make
sure.
one more
Mr.
comment?
Kelly.
You know, some of it's our own problem. From my 4 years up there, I don't think most legislators have a very clear understanding of what county government's all about, what we do, and what we're expected to do with the limited funds. We keep talking to them. We invite them to meetings and stuff, and I don't know what the answer is, but the schools are in there constantly. I mean, you hear that from the start of the session till the end, and the cities are in there constantly, and we just don't seem to have that presence with our legislators, and I think that's something I know we've been working on and we got to continue to work on, is getting them aware of our problem. They hear it, but they hear everybody's got a problem. I mean, the governor's office has got a problem, everybody's got a problem. So it's, it's obviously the one that continues to get at them, and I think that's one weak area that we have that maybe, some sort of an education process, but I think it's something we need to work on very hard.
I think we need to keep hammering on that. Although we did invite legislators to our budget session, and we had one legislator show up. We continue to reach out, and I know they're very busy, but so are we. So our plan is to have someone from the Southeast District of County Commissioners up in Pierre for most of the lion's share of the session, and also our administrative assistant Ken McFarland will also be spending significant time in Pierre trying to make our story again. So.
Okay, we'll go back to item number 10, which is a public hearing to consider a supplement from the general fund totaling $863,500 to various department budgets, including county commission, auditor elections, auditor, courts, public advocate, public defender, facilities, and jail, and a supplement from the building fund totaling $205,210 to the building fund budget for financing costs and repairs and renovations. Darlene Johnson.
Good morning, Commissioners. On December 16th, you authorized the auditor to post a notice of this budget hearing. And also on December 9th and 23rd, you had authorized 8 departments to use savings in their personnel budgets to cover expenditures, which saved having additional supplements. The departments that you authorized to use personnel savings were the auditor elections budget, highway construction, information technology, jail, STI, security, 24/7 sobriety, public defender, and facilities. There are 8 general fund departments in need of a supplement, and the building fund is in need of a supplement. The supplements requested are County Commission, $26,500, Auditor Elections, $5,000, Auditor, $5,000, Courts, $150,000, Public Advocate, $32,000, Public Defender, $30,000, Facilities, $135,000, Jail, $480,000, and the Building Fund, $205,210. And there were memos in your packets detailing the requests. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions for Darlene? Isn't it interesting that the most of these supplements are associated with law enforcement, where we continue to say we have a problem? The one for the commission office, a significant amount of that was also the overdue, well, Ken can talk about it, but larger audit than anticipated bill. And we do have a bill that we're sending to to the legislator regarding how audits are done.
Correct. Excuse me. In the commission budget, as you know, we pay for the audit of the county finances by the South Dakota Department of Legislative Audits. And the original budget for the audit was $45,000, which was an increase from the year before. But our actual bill for the audit that came in was $54,500. And that's, so there's about a $9,500 gap there between what was budgeted and what the actual expense was. And then the other one, of course, is under other professional services. I primarily use that line item to help pay, for broadcasting these meetings and some other minor contracts that we have. But this one took a hit because of some authorizations that you did for private attorneys in an ongoing court case that we have. And so the bills on that one far exceed the $5,000 that was originally budgeted. So those two items are primarily what's precipitating the need for the supplement
Are there
in
any
the commission office.
Any questions for Ken? Are there any questions on any of the other supplements that you would like to talk to staff members?
There are folks here if you do have questions. So.
Right. Commissioner Barth?
I would just comment, again, as you said, so many of these issues are related to crime over which we have, no control. The jail, public defender, public advocate, the courts, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And
Any other comments regarding the supplements? I would look for a motion. Oh.
Since the public hearing.
Oh, yeah, it's public hearing. Sorry, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to speak for or against the supplement? Seeing none, I would take it back to the commission. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve these supplements.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to supplement the general fund for the total of $863,500 into various department budgets. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously.
The second one, too, about the building fund.
Okay. Is there a motion on the building fund?
There is.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to transfer for the building, supplement for the building fund for $205,210. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And our last item is adjournment into executive section for contract. Did you have a comment? Excuse me.
And also if we could do it for litigation purposes.
And litigation
Madam
purposes.
Chair, I would just like to
Commissioner
take a
Barth?
moment as we review this year. We did work really hard this year. We made our budget. It wasn't as bad as 2012 when our budget was smaller than 2009. But it's going in the wrong direction, and our expenses are going up geometrically. Our facilities need to be enhanced or increased or improved. It's not going to be cheap, and the citizens in next year will hear more about this, but I know that we worked hard this year, and I appreciate all of you and all of your work this year, and we're, again, going to miss John. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Any other comments? I would look for a motion to adjourn into executive session for contract and litigation.
That's my motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Meeting adjourned.